Welcome to episode 113 of Genius Take the Wheel. I am your host, Dr. Evil Genius. Shout out to MTR. I am your host. All right, I'm a little bit late. The title of episode 113 is Be Self-Aware, Don't Be a Coward. So, yes, unfortunately, this is going to be one of those episodes where you hear what grinds Dr. Evil's gears. All right, so let's get into it. Today's workout was very similar to Saturday's because I had a little bit more, my time was a little bit more limited than I anticipated. So I shifted my focus towards improving on what I did on Saturday. So today I did 4 sets of 8 on the leg press at 405. I did the leg curl at 110, 4 sets of 10. The quality of the repetitions was a lot better than before. So I might move to 11 reps next time out. I intended to do 4 sets of 12 on the hack squat at 135, but I was running out of time, so I kept it to 4 sets of 8. I vastly improved both the quality of the movements and the comfort using the apparatus. So I should be able to move up next time. But I did move up in volume on the leg extension. I went from 4 sets of 10 on Saturday to 4 sets of 11 today. I did get it done. It's all good. My performance on the leg press was eons better than it was on Saturday. So I think I'll go to 4 sets of 9 on Thursday. So just kind of to get the housekeeping out of the way. I did move forward in my program, but only by a little bit. I haven't really been myself the last couple of days. I've been very tired socially, and so I've been really just trying to avoid as much human communication as possible the last couple of days. I'm just really socially tired. I try to let people know that one of the worst positions you can be in is being an introvert that people think is an extrovert. So they think that because you're engaging and you're nice to people and you're trying to encourage people and all that good stuff, that you're just outgoing and gregarious and all of that, which I'm not. And there are times where I just need to not talk to people. I need to not be around people. Why is that guy carrying that big ass dog up the steps like it can't walk? That's weird. Um, so yeah, there are times where I really just can't muster up the social energy to really speak to anybody, and it's been like that the last couple of days for me. I just cannot bring myself to just be jovial and social and all that stuff. I try to go to bed early. so that I can get ready for work this morning. And I had to get ready for a client that I meet at 5:15 a.m. And then after that, I go and do this heavy leg workout. That's what I do on Tuesdays. So my alarm I set for 4:35 a.m. Yeah, I did set all this time of the guys. I woke up at the time I was supposed to train the client. Oh man, I was so mad at myself. I didn't set the alarm. I didn't set the alarm. I do now remember setting my alarm for 4:35 a.m. and for whatever reason, Apple failed me and just didn't change it, and my alarm went back to the default 7:30 a.m. I'm thinking to myself, man, I messed up. I didn't set it. Yeah, I remember distinctly setting the alarm for 4:30 and saying, let me go to 4:35, and my alarm stayed at 7:30. Very annoying. Really annoyed. Now I'm more annoyed. Anyway, um, so um, I actually wake up maybe 30 seconds before I was supposed to be training the client. But thank goodness the client is 2 blocks away. So I just hopped up as quick as I could, got ready, ran out the door. I get there, like I text as soon as I knew I was going to not make it on time. And, the client was like, really understanding. She probably hates my guts for being late, but she's super nice. So she's not going to tell me. But anyway, uh, we do this thing every Tuesday and Friday, stupid early in the morning. And, there's the cast of the usual suspects that are in the gym around that time. There's a dude there that plays his music entirely too loud because I can hear his music clearly, even though he has headphones on across the room. So that dude's got to be going deaf. And there's a couple of other people that are regulars. One is actually a former NBA player, so I just give him a nod. I don't really like to be like all up in the guy's face, because I'm pretty sure that's got to be annoying. As a retired NBA player, somebody recognizes you. Oh my God! Oh my God! I just give him a little nod, keep him moving. But there's this older guy in his 60s, and actually the client, she says to me, yeah, we're living in this building for X number of years. That guy has never said even even so much as a hello, and I'm like, so I actually go into understanding person mode, and I say to her, hey, maybe he's actually much nicer than you think. We just don't know, because nobody said anything. If you say something to him, maybe he might actually be engaging. This is what I said to her last week, y'all. I said this to her last week. The reason why that's relevant is because today Dr. Evil was having a bad day physically. Um, while I'm working with the client, and this client works so hard. Okay, this client, she works so hard, both in the gym and outside the gym. She works really, really hard. I don't want to get into too many specifics. Let's just say, if I really wanted to satisfy the sadist in me, she's willing to be my masochist. And we're working really, really hard. I'm pushing her limit. There's a rumble in the jungle, so I'm like, excuse me. My stomach just would not leave me alone. So I'm like, listen, I really do need to go to the bathroom, right? So I go to the bathroom. I'm trying to rush myself through this physical process. And I come back and she whispers to me, uh, that guy that was right there, the old guy. He's asking if we can keep it down. I said, what? And like, I was kind of frozen because today is one of those, and I'm just not in that social headspace right now. I'm just not. So we weren't really speaking very much. But I do distinctly remember that when I was trying to guide her on this particular exercise where I need to give her a verbal cue to know when to move, he starts clanging and banging really loud on this machine, and he's really loud while I'm trying to give this audible cue to the client. Then I go to the bathroom, and the more that I'm processing the situation, the more irritated I get. So after she said what she said, I was I was just like, number one, we're not even really being loud. That's number one. Number two, before I could even really process the second point, he comes walking by and she points at him, and then I'm making eye contact with him because he says something to her. Now she is quiet as a church mouse. You can barely hear her speak, right? And then like I look at him directly with that knowing look of of ocular communication. Yeah, can you keep it down? I said, sir, this is not a library. Like, number one, when I am trying to communicate to my client as like I'm trying to give an audible instructions, you're clanging and banging to the point where I had to raise my voice so that she could hear the audio cue. So you're super loud. When I left the area to go to the bathroom, you're huffing and puffing really loud. And you have the nerve to talk about keep it down. Sir, this is not a library. This is where people train. And the second point, because I'm still processing this the whole time, that was an absurdly cowardly thing to do. You are going to, approach a woman. His issue was with me. He is going to admonish the woman about keeping it down when her voice is super, super soft. What are you going to her for? We're supposed to be two grown men. And when you have a problem, you're going to approach the woman? That's cowardly. You're going to approach somebody about being quiet in a gym while you're clanging and banging ultra loud, huffing and puffing, and you have the unmitigated gall. You have the Stephen A. Smith cojones. Like, do you not know what self-awareness is? You're out here crying about people talking in the gym when you're clanging and banging as loud as you fucking can. And when your problem is with the grown man, you complain to the woman. I just don't respect that. Your issue is with me. And you're going to wait until I go to the bathroom to say something to the woman when you haven't said so much as hello to that woman in multiple years as her neighbor? The first thing that you think to fix your face to do in reference to communication with that woman is to pull some cowardly BS? You gotta be out your mind. And you're wrong. You're the loudest mofo in the room. And you have the nerve to tell somebody else to be quiet. You must have lost your goddamn mind. The entitlement, the lack of self-awareness, and the cowardice. Gross. One of the nicest ladies that you'll meet. Super non-confrontational, super feminine, super nice. You didn't have a word to say to this woman in multiple years as your neighbor. But you could fix yourself to be a coward while simultaneously not even understanding that while you're asking other people to be quiet, when you're not in church and not in a library, you're the loudest person in the room. Unbelievable. That really pissed me off. I just don't understand what it is with people. You know, like I'm not the most confrontational person in the world. You know, I'm really, I really try to be very respectful. I try to be nice to people the whole bit because that's how I live my life. I live my life, just and the thing is, I'm also the type of person that if you make a somewhat reasonable request of me, I'm going to do what I can to honor that request if it's reasonable. If you want to occupy the space that I'm occupying and you need it 1% more than I need it, I'll give it to you. I don't have a problem with that. But when you have to remind somebody who's louder than you that this is a place of physical training and not quiet meditation and study. And again, people come to the gym with earbuds on, headphones on. That's standard in gyms. You see somebody's working with their trainer, they're going to communicate. So you want to come into the gym with no headphones on and then dictate who can speak and how loud they can speak when you're the loudest mofo in the room. You've lost your mind. And I could have forgiven all of that if he wasn't such a coward. And the thing is, you just get the sense that people like that, even when they're too old to be physically imposing, you can tell that they have a bully spirit. You need to check them immediately. And it wasn't like I had to be like super rude or like super forceful or anything like that. I just looked them directly in the eye and just really directly, sir, this is not a library. And then the more I kept thinking about it, the angrier I got. You don't need to get up in people's faces to prove the point. You don't need to do any of that. You just need to remind them to look in the mirror for a second. Read the room, be self-aware, and don't be a goddamn coward. You got a problem with a grown man, you don't wait till the grown man leaves to address the woman. Gross. I just, no. The answer's no. Not going to be able to do it. Can't abide by it. Whatever, yo. And he can say something, to the manager or whatever, and I'll explain it to him exactly the way it went down. Because some of these guys think they have more power than they actually do. They think they're more important than they actually are. But yeah, don't let anybody bully you. You don't need, to get, rah rah back up in their face. You don't need to do any of that. Just firmly stand your ground. Hold up a mirror in front of their face. Remind them to be self-aware. Read the room. Don't be a coward. And all of this is like going down when it's just like, I don't really want to be interacting with anybody right now anyway. Hopefully, this feeling passes in a day or two, but I don't even really want to be interacting with anybody to begin with. So, like, for him to be, talking this bullshit when, nobody's even really being loud because nobody's really saying anything. I, um, I don't know. Sometimes I just don't feel like it, y'all. And, I'm kind of proud of my own restraint because my over the last couple of days, my fuse has been pretty short. But I try to be professional. I try to be nice to people. Sometimes people make that really difficult. But anyway, the training has been okay. The back workout went okay yesterday. Um, I'm really not feeling it today. I may not be able to hit the chest today. I may have to push it off until tomorrow. I'm just happy that I performed well. I wasn't like completely like gassed um, from today's leg workout. I don't know. I'm trying my best, people. I do thank everybody that supports the platform. Thank you for supporting my channel. I don't know. Maybe I'll do today's chest workout. Maybe I'll do today's chest workout. Tomorrow is supposed to be an arm day. So anyway, I sent this. I sent this stream, the link to the stream, to the client. So if you're watching this, thank you. I do appreciate you. And just also understand too that part of my job description as your coach is to protect you from the assholes in the environment. And that's also something that I'm just not going to hesitate to do. If you are a client of mine, and it just seems like, because I had a situation a couple months ago where somebody wanted to be a dick, who thought that he had more power than he actually does. They never really pull that shit when I'm working with male clients. They pull that shit when I'm working with female clients. I don't like that. I don't. It might be premature to notice a trend with that. It might be premature to notice a trend, but if there is a trend, I don't like it. I don't know, y'all, but if there is a woman paying for my time as her coach, part of my job description is to make sure that people don't try any kind of bully tactics with them. I, I'm not gonna take that when it comes to my male clients either. I'm not gonna let guys try to bully them out of the spaces that they deserve to be in as well. But I don't know, man. I don't know. Humans are gonna do stuff, and you gotta just deal with it when it where it comes. I don't know. I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying to keep my cool. Trying to keep things in perspective. A quick word about the end of the NBA season, real quick. Honestly, I just want to end the stream right here, but I figure I'll say something real quick while I'm sitting in this heavy traffic. Congratulations to the Boston Celtics. And the number one hometown hater and the first of his kind that I've ever seen. Big ups to Captain Paul. What a hater. He hates his own Boston Celtics and was rooting against them. This is his hometown team, and he hates on them. And I just don't understand it. He hates on his own hometown team. So congratulations to them for making a salty hater out of one of their own fans. Apparently, he doesn't like the light-skinned players on the team. This is what happens when you allow a ginger to come to the cookout. He starts claiming to be trans black, and then he starts hating on the light-skinned players on the team. What a hater. Captain Paul, I love your brother, but you're a hater who hates on their own hometown championship team. Who does that? I don't understand. But he doesn't like the light skins on the team, but somehow gives credit to Porzingis. I have to say, the NBA playoffs are probably one of the worst NBA playoffs I've ever seen. And it's really not really the fault of like anybody in particular. A lot of it is the fact that the injuries just absolutely killed. The injuries absolutely killed a lot of the top teams in the league, and the Boston the Boston Celtics had really um, no real resistance on their way to the championship. I think that Boston would have had a much harder time if they faced Minnesota if the Timberwolves came out of the West, but that's not what happened. It is what it is. But shout out to those guys that got the job done. They did what they were supposed to do. So, whatever. Anyway, I'm up out of here, y'all. I'm tired. Hopefully, episode 114 will be better than 113. And as always, if you believe yourself to be strong, you are absolutely correct.